The wind howled across the barren plains of Hollow Creek, whispering through the tumbleweeds like ghosts long forgotten. The sun had already sunk behind the red hills, and a silver moon rose to cast its light upon the old ranch that once belonged to the McAlister family, a place many in town said was cursed. No one had lived there for years, not since the drought swallowed the crops, and the old well in the middle of the ranch ran dry. Folks said it wasn't just water that vanished that summer. It was hope itself. But tonight, a man had come back. Logan McAlister, the last surviving son of the family, rode slowly down the dusty trail, his worn boots hitting the earth with purpose. His eyes were tired, shadowed by years of hardship. He had lost more than most: his parents, his land, his will to believe that anything good could grow again. Yet something pulled him home. He dismounted, standing before the cracked wooden gate. The wind moaned through the slats, and for a moment it almost sounded like a voice, a whisper carried from the well beyond the barn. He hesitated. Then he heard it again, a soft cry. "Go deeper. Make it quick inside." The voice was faint, trembling. Not a ghost, but a woman. Logan ran toward the sound, his heart pounding. There, beside the broken well, was a young woman in a torn dress, her hands gripping the rope that hung down into the darkness. She was trying to haul something up, her breath shallow and fast. "Hold on!" Logan shouted, dropping beside her. Together, they pulled the heavy rope until a small wooden bucket surfaced, filled not with water but with strange glowing stones. The woman gasped, her eyes wide. "It's real." The light of Hollow Creek. Logan stared at her, sweat glistening on his brow. "Who are you?" "Evelyn," she said softly. "I came from town. They said the well still breathes, that maybe the curse can be broken if someone finds what's buried deep." He looked at the stones again. They pulsed faintly like embers of life. For the first time in years, something stirred in his chest. Hope. But as quickly as it came, a chill followed. The air thickened, and a voice rose from the depths of the well, ancient and mournful. "You took what was not yours." Evelyn stepped back in fear. The bucket rocked. The light dimmed. Logan felt a cold hand brush against his wrist, unseen but real. He clenched his jaw. "I'm taking back what this land lost. You can't stop me." The ground trembled. The curse that had held Hollow Creek captive for generations was waking. Lightning flashed across the sky, striking the old barn and setting its roof ablaze. "Go deeper," Evelyn whispered again, her voice trembling. "It's not over. We have to put it back together." That's what the legend meant. Logan looked into her eyes, blue as the morning sky, fierce with courage. For the first time, he understood. It wasn't the stones that carried power. It was the act of faith itself, the willingness to dig deeper when the world told you to give up. Hand in hand, they lowered the glowing stones back into the heart of the well, whispering words of forgiveness, words for the land, for their families, for themselves. And then silence. The wind died. The flames faded. The moon's light softened. Across the ranch, as a faint sound began to echo dripping water, Logan leaned over the edge. The well was filling again, the curse undone. He fell to his knees, laughing and crying all at once. Evelyn smiled, tears glistening on her cheeks. "You broke it," she said softly. "You brought it back." He looked at her, this stranger who had come from nowhere, and helped him find his faith again. "No," he said. "We did it together." As dawn painted the horizon, the first rays of sunlight bathed the ranch in gold. The dry fields shimmered with dew, and the cattle wandered freely once more. Life had returned. Logan placed his hat over his heart and whispered to the wind, "Thank you." Evelyn turned toward him, her eyes shining. "What will you do now?" He smiled faintly. "Rebuild, heal, start over." She nodded. "Then maybe I'll stay a while. Seems this land isn't the only one that needed saving." The two of them stood by the well, no longer a place of fear, but of promise. And as the camera faded to the open plains, Logan's voice could be heard. "Sometimes you have to go deeper to find what's been missing all along." Weeks passed, and Hollow Creek began to bloom again. The well that had once symbolized despair now sang with the sound of flowing water, clear and alive. Logan repaired the fences, rebuilt the barn, and each morning Evelyn joined him, her laughter softening the silence that had haunted the ranch for years. But one night, as the sky turned crimson and the wind carried a strange chill, the whisper returned. Logan froze at the edge of the field, his hand tightening around his lantern. "Go deeper," the voice said again, faint but clear. Evelyn came running, worry etched across her face. "You hear it too?" He nodded slowly. "The curse isn't gone, it's warning us." They followed the sound back to the well, where the water shimmered unnaturally bright. Logan peered in and saw something glinting. Beneath the surface, an old silver locket. He reached down and lifted it carefully. Inside was a faded picture of a woman who looked exactly like Evelyn. Her breath caught. "That's my grandmother. She disappeared here decades ago." A realization hit Logan like thunder. The curse wasn't just about the land, it was about her bloodline. Evelyn's voice trembled. Then it was never about the water. It was about forgiveness, about setting her free. Together, they whispered a final prayer and placed the locket back into the well. The wind calmed, the stars brightened, and for the first time true peace fell over Hollow Creek. Logan looked at Evelyn, his heart steady. "You didn't just save this ranch. You saved me."